Hey guys, Gravity here. What's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Marvel Contest of Champions and the How to Effectively Use series. And today we're backing up to get Gambit. Now, obviously, just about every single person in the game, or just, well, every single person in the game, as long as you follow the calendar rules, ended up with a Gambit, at least a 3-star or 4-star by the end of last month. So it's pretty cool, pretty groovy that everybody actually has Gambit in the game, and that should be one of like your newest characters in the game if you haven't pulled any new ones since then. To me, Gambit is a really kind of underestimated character. I don't think he's exactly the best new character in the game. I think that would probably either go to Loki or Civil War Black Panther as far as that whole deal goes for me. But Gambit definitely has his uses. I still don't like the amount of backdraft that he gets from his coat there. He kind of looks like he's got a constant fart going. But it's just my personal opinion. Let's jump right into what we got here, though. Mine is just a 3-star. That's all I pulled from that login crystal last month. But, you know, it's a free 3-star. You can't really complain about it. It's a new character. It's a character I didn't have before that, so pretty happy with the fact that I even got him as a 3-star. Rank 2, level 20 of 20. He has the abilities Anti-Up, Stun, and Concussion. I'm going to stop giving off the numbers at the end of those because that's really dependent on your level and what star level you have the character at. So he does, you know, Anti-Up, Stun, and Concussion. He has a pretty decent amount of stuff inside of his signature ability little section here and his abilities. So we don't have Raging Cajun, but what it looks like it does is gains increased critical damage from his prowess buffs and gets an upgrade to his flak jacket to make it last longer in battle. So that's kind of cool. That prowess is really kind of cool. If you check out the video that should be playing up top in the right hand corner at some point during this video, you can actually get a look at exactly what those prowess buffs do. So blocking, Gambit charges his weapon while holding block, gaining a kinetic energy for every 0.5 seconds. He isn't attacked. That's kind of the key thing. Like, whenever you're playing the lower end stuff, you're not going to be getting as attacked much. So, like, if you're doing the first wave of the Pandemonium Rising mission, which is what I did in the top right, you're not going to be getting attacked as much. So that's all kind of like traditionally with a lot of the lower end missions, you don't have to worry about getting attacked too often. So you're going to be able to charge those up. But the more higher end stuff, you're going to be getting attacked a pretty decent amount. So it's going to be a lot harder to be able to charge those. But you know, you get one or two off, then you're pretty good on that stance. Whenever Gambit is struck by a combo ending attack, he has a 50% chance to fold and lose all his kinetic charges. So that does kind of stink. Like, you don't want to get hit whatsoever because any charges that you've packed on, you don't want to lose those because like I said, the later on in the game you get, the harder it's going to be able to keep those. Heavy attacks, Gambit cashes out, converting his kinetic charges to prowess buffs, each increasing special damage by 14% for 9 seconds. Now I know that doesn't seem like a lot, but I've got up to around 6 to 8 prowess buffs before on kind of the lower tier stuff, and you got to think 14% for each one of those is a pretty big buff. I mean, you could potentially be getting up close to, you know, if you can get it just right on the prowess buffs, you can probably be getting up to 100% or close to 100% extra special attack damage, which is pretty awesome. I actually like the prowess a lot, but I wish that the only thing that I really wish is that his heavy attack was more of a long range attack. I mean, he throws the card, but you literally have to be right next to the person, as if you were doing a heavy attack to be able to do it. I think that the projectile card would have been a lot better, in my opinion. Passive, Gambit's unique armor grants him 12% physical resistance and bleed resistance. Once Gambit has lost 20% of his max health from physical damage, the armor breaks. So you don't want to get under 20% of your max health or you're going to be taking a lot more damage. 12% physical resistance is pretty decent in this game. And more so than anything, 12% bleed resistance is really, really awesome in this game. I'll take the bleed resistance over the physical resistance any day of the week. But there still are a lot of physical characters in this game that could be an advantage over. Special attacks, Gambit's ability accuracy increases by 2% for each kinetic charge he has during special attacks. So that's pretty cool. Special attack 1. This attack has a 70% chance to stun the opponent for 2.5 seconds. The chance to stun increases based on how low the opponent's armor is. So that's kind of neat. I like the stun ability that he does have. Obviously, it doesn't proc every single time. 70% chance is pretty high, but I still like the chances that we get off of it. Special attack 2. This attack has a 66% chance to give the opponent a concussion, reducing their ability accuracy by 62% for 11 seconds. The potency of this effect is affected by class relationships. So, obviously, if we're going up against a skill character, the potency of this ability is going to be a little bit better. If we're going up against a tech character, it's going to be a little bit less. But a 66% chance to give the concussion is pretty cool. 62% reduction in ability accuracy is really kind of cool. Especially against some of the characters like Black Widow, let's say Black Widow. Because that's what her ability is all about, is her subtlety. So this is kind of the character that could kind of go against that a little bit, because it's going to reduce that by 62% for 11 seconds. Now, obviously, 62% is not going to take it away completely, but it's still a pretty big help, and it lasts for 11 seconds. So that's pretty cool. But you have to get the concussion, too. That's another thing. If you don't get the concussion, it's not going to really help you do anything. It's a pretty powerful special 2 attack in and of itself, but I don't know. You really need that concussion for it to get the oomph that you want from it. Special attack 3. This attack has an 82% chance to paralyze the opponent for 2.8 seconds, stunning them and reducing their power and health gains by 58%. This to me is like one of those kind of things that could come in really handy against a character like Scarlet Witch or Doctor Strange, or really just about any character in the game who's going to be able to regen. Wolverine, X-23, Old Man Logan. Just basically any character in the game who's going to be able to gain health. Deadpool. And power gain, which would be really kind of key for characters like Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. And Deadpool X-Force. Because you're going to be reducing that by 58%. So you're cutting that in more than half. So that's kind of neat to me. Gambit has a lot of really essential uses to me. He could be I don't really see him as like the defensive kind of character. His move sets are really kind of easy to avoid, especially with that special one. It's just one card that he throws out. So it's really easy to evade. It's not like, let's say, War Machine's L1 where he shoots off a ton of bullets. Those aren't exactly the easiest things to evade in the world. Spider-Man's shoots off 2 of his web shooters. Sometimes those can be a little bit tricky to be able to get both of them down. So it's not exactly the easiest thing in the world. But Gambit, it's just one card. That's all he throws. I think it should be at least 2 or 3 cards that he throws off, more of a barrage style. And his L2 is extremely easy to avoid because he just, he does kind of like a spinny move, and then he slams his stick down in the ground. If it was a little bit more long range, kind of like Magneto's L2, I would say it would be a lot better. Even Loki's L2 kind of goes a little bit further than Gambit's ability does. That's just my opinion. You got a charged staff, and you're smashing it into the ground. It should kind of do a little bit more damage toward the ground and push it as a projectile toward the opponent that you're going up against. But again, that's just my opinion. But overall, Gambit is not a horrible character for the game. He's not by far the best new character that they've introduced into the game. There was a lot more potential that they could have done with him, as far as I'm concerned. But overall, he's a pretty good offensive character. That's exactly what I would use him for. Mostly for questing. I think he'd be pretty good for some quests. I could see his buffs actually doing some pretty good once we potentially get an Act 5 down. I'd say that there could be some possibilities that pop up down the road where his abilities are something that are really going to help people get through some stuff in Act 5 if they throw some pretty shady stuff at us. But you'll never know, or at least we'll never know until that point comes in time. But I'm kind of banking on that fact that he's going to be essential at some point down the road. Right now, he's just kind of fun to play with. Pretty cool character. Awesome look as far as I'm concerned. He looks exactly like the 90s animated series Gambit, which is super awesome to me because that's the key thing for the X-Men. For me, period, is that 90s style. Synergy bonuses. As a 3-star, we have 5% armor with X-23 and a 4% perfect block chance with Nightcrawler or Beast. So not exactly the best synergy bonuses in the world. I don't know exactly what synergy bonuses he has as a 4-star, but that's the max that you're going to get. So 3, I'm pretty sure, with him. So there is an extra bonus there. But alright guys, so that's going to be it for this episode of how to effectively use. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you learned a little bit of something. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a like on it. If it's your first time watching the channel, please consider leaving a sub on it. And as always guys, remember to like, share, comment, subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Later. 'Cause we